Hello and welcome back to Woodburning 101. This is part of a longer video series on wood burning. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and take a look at some of those other videos. Today we're going to be talking about how to choose a design for your wood burn project. So when you're first starting off, you're going to want something nice and simple. What I always look for is closed loops. You don't want openings in your project, because when you go to stain it later, you won't know where to make the parts dark and where to put the parts that are light. So for me, I prefer to do the designs that have closed shapes only, which most do, so shouldn't be a problem. Here we have just a nice Schwartz logo, and it's got very thick lines, so this is great for beginning because you'll have lots of wiggle room if you make a mistake. You can sand it off, or you can go back over it and just make it thicker and darker. It's also got lots of white space, so when you go to add stain to this later, you also, again, you're going to have lots of wiggle room and you won't have to be as precise. So this is a great one to start off with, or something like this. Here's one example of one that would be a little bit too detailed. Just a lot of really detailed shapes, just about right in there. I wouldn't be able to quite get into it with a wood burner. I could make this look good, but it would take a lot more work than I think is actually worth it. So I'm putting this design aside for now. The way that I could fix this is by blowing it up larger, and then you're able to get into those nooks and crannies quite a bit easier. Here's another design that I did with this map, which was a pretty easy one to burn, and it looks absolutely fantastic, the finished product. Here's a more detailed one. As I'm starting to get better at wood burning, you can start to use some of these Celtic knot designs. Are a lot of fun. Again, all of the loops are closed, so when I went to stain it, I was able to know exactly where to put the dark stain, the light stain, and there is no ambiguity there. Here's another one that I've done. This is one of the most detailed I've done. What you want to look for is shapes that you can get into with your wood burner and not bleed into the next shape over. So if you put your wood burner down into the line here, keep in mind that line is going to be larger when you wood burn it than if you draw it just in pencil. So if your pencil design looks great, just make sure you have a little extra room around the edges so that you can bleed into that white space just a little bit. So here's what the finished product looks like with that one. And this is after I've stained all of those pieces. So we're going to be talking about stain in another video coming up soon, so stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to my channel.